following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
Maybe we can still heal you. Why? So you can just lock me up? No. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
In the hell do you think you are?
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
For how long?
Forever. Yeah, let's
No, please.
Let's have it.
You don't understand. This is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it, okay?
So, Macho Man Vandal Savage. Yes, that's right. No Oz, Macho Man Vandal Savage. Let me ask you on this edition of Open Mic Night, what's on your mind?
Man, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Real quick, shout out to Ozzy Killmonger. Shout out to V's, we're going to miss you, but Uncle Oz, we need to talk about your commercials. Overall, what is it? I know what I do on Sundays, but, what else I got to do on a Sunday other than hang out with y'all? Trying to tell you the only thing missing from that was the Isley Brothers, just in the background. Hey girl, ain't no mystery.
and Jay from the Defy Life podcast, do you have any second opinions on that?
Oh, yeah, I got a few things to say. Yeah, first of all, Oz, never, ever make a commercial for Defy Life again. Like, if you decide to leave the Defy Life network and go work for any of our rivals, feel free to make all the commercials you want. But
every drop, every commercial.
Like that in the immortal words, I think Rosa Parks said this once. That shit was Dookie juice.
I think that was Rosa Parks. I feel
that
like
was Rosa Parks, right? Yeah, that commercial was Dookie juice. It was trash.
On this particular open mic, though, Jay, I feel like we should just begin by quoting the great Regular Scott. Shots is getting fired. Shots fired.
Listen, all over the place, just everywhere.
Right.
Just in advance for nothing.
Yeah.
I'm shooting arbitrary shots just over there.
Oh man.
As you can tell, this is going to be a very different show, by the way.
It is, and I've been thinking that since Jay got his own nickname. When as West Coast Jay has his own nickname when he comes on the show, I need to develop me an alter ego when I come on Take a Knee.
I got an idea for you, Jay.
So, you tell me what you think. But I think I'm rolling with Kingpin.
Oh, I was gonna go with the Mad Titan.
Thanos.
I can be Thanos.
Mm-hmm. You could also be the Kingpin. So I'm with it either way.
I'm the Kingpin. Huh.
Regular Scott, you want to weigh in on this and see where we're going?
I actually think the Kingpin of Defy Life fits Jay pretty well.
I'll go with Kingpin. I'll roll with Kingpin. I feel underdressed, man, when I'm just Jay and y'all got all these fancy nicknames. And even regular nicknames, like Regular Scott is fancy compared to just Jay.
It's fly.
Right. So, so when I'm on here, I will go by my alter ego. And then lastly, I'm just gonna start calling V's Eddie Kane Jr. Because
Right, just fire all the shots. Just fire some.
Yo, what up, my
You
people?
gotta, do you happen to
Figure
have
that
a
out.
AK-47 sound somewhere? Because them the shots.
I
We
don't,
the
but
street
I
sleepers.
have shot about 6 of these off while Jay was talking.
Yeah,
So,
just straight
or
up
I'm sorry,
street
while
sweepers.
Kingpin was talking.
So yeah,
Shout out to V's who's at a golf tournament, by the way.
yeah,
Again, these play golf like that.
you know, maybe one day he'll start playing sports.
Oh, there's some more shots in case you were paying attention.
Hey, V's not gonna like that. Hey, look, there's certain things that'll get him hot. That's gonna get him hot.
What? Does he actually believe golf is a sport?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh
honestly.
yeah. Do you not?
I mean, it's not even a debate. Like, I mean, like, really, like,
It is a sport.
it's a game.
It's
It's a game of skill,
okay. Yes. It does take a lot of skill,
right?
and you have to be mentally tough to play golf.
Yeah, absolutely. But so does heart surgery. Doesn't make it a sport,
That's not a sport. It's a practice.
right? It's a skill.
Okay,
Like,
okay. I got one for you.
mhm.
You have to be more in shape to be a great golfer than you do to be a great baseball player.
That's a fact.
But I also say baseball is not a sport.
Oh, okay. Well, that kills my argument right there.
Yeah, that's
It's
a pastime.
it's a skilled event. It's a skillful game. Takes a lot, and it's not taking anything away from either one of them. Two of the hardest things to do in all of so-called sports are to hit a baseball and to hit a golf ball.
To hit a golf
accurate.
ball straight. Right.
Right.
Yeah,
to
straight.
hit it where you want it to go.
Right. So doesn't mean that it's easy but it's not an athletic sport. It's not an athletic event. It's a skill event.
That's
Hilarious.
tough right there. That's a big.
Yeah.
That's a big statement right there. It's a very bold statement.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
That's
and
Wilson Fisk.
and Alvin hates me for it. Keon used to hate me for it because they don't agree, but especially regarding baseball. But I mean, I've always said that like you could take the worst athlete in the NFL or the NBA, and they could find a role as a baseball player, right? They could be
A right
pinch
fielder.
runner, a right fielder. Yeah, you couldn't take a non-athletic, and I'm talking about a non-athletic, relatively speaking, athlete from the NFL or NBA. But if you took one of the moderate athletes from Major League Baseball or the PGA, what role could you have for them in the NBA or the NFL?
Bench warmer.
All right.
They'd be good at that though.
I don't
but,
even think they'd make the practice squad.
No,
Yeah,
but I think
it's
that a
nothing they
baseball
could-
player would be an amazing bench warmer in the NBA. Like, think about it. All you got to do is react outlandishly when somebody get dunked on.
Mhm.
You know, you got to run up and down the court and act like you're getting ready to run on the court, but not actually on the court.
See, that's the problem though. Baseball players, they like to run out on the field and go fight and stuff. You know, they be running out on the court. Next thing you know, Durant done got hit in the face by a Phillies
Right.
pitcher. You know,
But that's the thing. Like baseball, to me, well, for one, I'm not really big on any game, and this is gonna be golf, baseball, shit, poker, like cards. Like I'm not big on any game. We got to take turns. All right. So anytime I can't like impose my will and steal the ball or like I got to wait for you to finish before it's my turn. I can't stand that shit. And so then with baseball, it's probably the only sport I know where you can go an entire game and not be involved in it.
Whole game.
So you could play right field, never have a ball hit to you, and you
play
could
second base.
strike out
Never
4
had a ball
times.
hit to you.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. And strike out 4 times, and you're never actually involved in the action. Like you can not get dirty an entire baseball game.
That's true. Or not even touch the ball.
And not touch, like at all.
And your team win, and you somehow still,
right.
Yeah, no, I that's a very valid point.
Yeah. And then golf, I mean, you could play golf till you 70 professionally.
Yeah.
So then let me ask you this then. When it comes to golf, let's Tiger. He's considered one of the greatest athletes of all time. How do you feel about him being considered one of the greatest athletes of all time as a golfer?
No, if we're using athletes in the sense that people tend to use it in that way, when they say athletes, I guess they're meaning people that are involved in athletics. But if you're speaking athlete in its truest sense of having athletic ability, hell no.
What's Tiger 40 time?
Right.
With a golf ball, it's probably like can't see it.
But I'm just saying, like, dude, what's his shuttle drill time? Like, what is he doing?
Hey, you know what though? Back in the day, I bet you Tiger could run a mean shuttle though.
I bet you he could shuttle. I bet you
he could run a mean shuttle back in the day.
Right.
I don't know about his 40,
but to say his straight line speed though.
Yeah,
like the Raiders never drafted.
Yeah, Tiger's 3-cone drill was probably like an 8 in his prime.
Yeah.
But like anything over a 7 is horrible. Anything over like a 7.3 is horrible.
And that's
like offensive line.
Yeah, I was about to say that's an old lineman. That's like a pulling guard.
Right. Yeah. But I'm saying Tiger probably at his peak could probably run like an 8 flat 3-cone.
I'm gonna give him a solid 5.3 40.
Yeah.
Really? You think he's that fast?
I think he was when he was in Stanford.
Yeah. And at his peak, he was probably because Rich Eisen was a 5.6, so I'm sure. Yeah, Tiger could probably break.
Yeah, he could run a 5.3.
Yeah, he could run him. Maybe even I would give him a 5, maybe a 5 flat.
Stop it!
Okay.
Stop it!
Okay. And to put that in perspective,
again, like
what was Tom Brady?
Tom Brady was like a 5.4.
Yeah. Just to put that in perspective.
Yeah.
You know?
Tom Brady might be a better athlete than Tiger Woods.
Might be.
That's what I'm saying. Cal Drogo, the Flash.
All right.
Come on.
Yeah. And so
just to give you a segue back to your comics, because this is
right.
You want to set the table for us, Scott?
Hey, look, I was just about to do that. So, look, before we get too deep into things, allow me to set the table. This is Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC. I am your host, Regular Scott. As you hear, I have 2 brand new co-hosts for the week. We got West Coast J, Macho Man Vandal Savage. What's going on, Macho?
You know what? To channel my inner Ozzy Killmonger. What up, good people?
Good people. And then we got from the Defy Life podcast, the now newly named Kingpin J. Kingpin J, what's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. In the words of V's, absolutely nothing. Because he's right here.
I heard the whole thing. Still shots. I'm just saying. Shots. I
was waiting on the shower to start or something.
The toilet
later
to
in the
flush,
show.
just anything.
I'll let you at least. Yeah, we get at least through the first segment before I leave to take a shower.
Okay. All
right now, I just stick to doing my sit-ups and push-ups.
Hey, look,
that's fair.
Hey, look, just so you know, though, he does at least shoot me a text, like at some point during the shower or like when he gets out the shower. So you gotta at least shoot me a text, midway or something. Hey, I'm not there. Right. You know what I mean? Just saying.
Oh, man.
I'm just
gotta
saying.
love you.
I just want to, this is going to be open mic. So, we're going to talk about whatever. You can find us at godefylife.com. We're on iTunes, Spreaker, Radio Public, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher. Subscribe, like, give us a 5-star review. Email us at need4marvelvsdc@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter, need4marvelvsdc. West Coast Jay.
I said go to defylife.com.
What?
Need for Marvel vs. DC at godefylife.com.
That's what I said. No, it's not, but that's what I meant to say. Thanks, Jay. That's what I meant to say, though.
Hey, regular Scott, don't be questioning Wilson, the Kingpin, Jay Fitz.
Hey, look, I know, because next thing you know, I won't be here next week.
Right. Like people is known to disappear.
Just disappear, man.
Scott, you got leverage now, man. You don't have co-host. You got job security.
That's great. Hey, look, that's good to know. Now I can wild out on this episode.
Right.
Perfect.
So I'm making demands. Jay, I need a raise. All right, man. We can start paying you attention. Because I can't pay you nothing else.
Hey, look, that's good to know. That's good to know. And I got you on the show. Let me see if I do have any. I've been writing them down every episode, so let me see if I got my list in front of me or not. Hey, Jay, go ahead and plug what you want.
I did hear that Money was supposed to be having a conversation with me about y'all getting T-shirts, so we can work on that.
Word.
But the onesies in the mail. Should have that soon.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, man. And also, everybody definitely check out the podcast gear at defylifegear.com. We got the Take a Knee, the short and long sleeve tees out there, so definitely check those out. Every show is represented on the podcast gear. From Defy Life Network, Take a Knee, DJ Blaze, everybody. We also have the network T-shirts and all the other fall and spring line wear from Defy Life gear. So check us out there. Check out every show on the network. As I just mentioned, we got something for everybody. So I'm happy to be here, man. It's always good to be good to be here with my fellow blurs, as Oz would put it.
Macho Man, you got anything you want to plug?
Oh no, I like Earth as a whole. I think it's a cool place to hang out. You know, I will get my inner Captain Marvel on and start talking about other planets, but you know,
I just like Earth.
You know, just in general. You know, be good to people. You know.
As this game's going on, as we're recording this show, there's a Rockets and Warriors game going on. It's starting to really piss me off the more I keep looking at it. So if I start, now I got a little smile on my face.
There you go. I know why.
If I start getting angry on the show, I apologize.
If they start getting angry on the show, understand that I'm quiet for a reason. Because champions maintain they cool.
I'm not. I hate the Warriors. I hate everything about them.
Let's discuss that. So what is your disdain for the Warriors, Scott?
I'm gonna tell you exactly when it started. It started after the Warriors won their first championship, and Draymond Green, one of the ones I dislike the most. He's on the podium after the game, and you know he's clearly drunk, and you know I get it. It's your first championship. You're young. You know you're like I'm. This is my moment. He's up there talking about they suck. We won. We don't. They do. LeBron sucks. All this stuff. Talking all this cash about how we all better than them. They not that good. And I'm like, yo, really? This is how you doing after your first title, like that? And then Draymond Green kind of has that Carlos Boozer to him. Let me tell you what the Carlos Boozer effect is. The Carlos Boozer effect is when Klay Thompson goes and dunks on somebody. Klay Thompson runs down the court. He might throw his hands up. Draymond Green goes in the guy's face and yells in his face. Like he was the one that dunked on him. That's the Carlos Boozer effect.
Gotcha.
That's hilarious.
Little things like that just drive me nuts about this guy. Haven't even got into the his karate kicks and how he just cries about every single call, and he gets away with screaming and throwing his hands up on the air, and it's amazing. And the worst part is he plays the way you're supposed to play, and I still find myself disliking him so much. And he plays so hard, and it's amazing that I dislike him so much.
Yeah. All right. Hey, real quick question. If you had to compare him, if you had to give him a comic book character, Who is Draymond Green?
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah, on the spot.
If I'm gonna go on the spot, Draymond Green is probably like Draymond's probably like a Bane to me. As far as he can do a little bit of everything. He can be the mastermind. He can be the muscle. He can be the number 2. You know, he can work well with others when he needs to. He's got plenty of heart. Like, he goes hard. Ain't no question about that. But there's just something about him that I just don't like. I don't like Bane like that. You know, I think Lady Shiva should be where Bane is as far as prominence in the DC universe. But,
fair enough.
You know, but I just don't like him, but he has all those qualities about him. So I would probably compare him to like a Bane.
That's crazy though. Like, and I'm not a Warriors fan either, but Draymond is probably the only one I actually like.
So what is it about him that you like?
Because Draymond's like a racist, like an open racist to me, right?
That's
like, at
fair.
least I know where he stands. He doesn't try to hide the fact that he's a bad guy. He embraces the fact that he's dirty.
Yeah, like a wrestling heel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so he's like a dude who don't like nobody, and he's racist, but he'll let you know. I can appreciate that. May not agree with it, but I can appreciate it. As opposed to Steph, who comes across as the kid next door, and everybody thinks he's such a nice guy, and Steph's probably one of the biggest assholes in the NBA.
No doubt.
AKA Peter Parker, Stephen
right? Yes. And so I can appreciate Draymond. I don't necessarily like him, but relatively speaking, he's probably one of the Warriors I respect the most because he is who he is, and he doesn't hide behind any of that shit.
Very Bane-like. I see that.
Yeah, I can get with that too. I'm a Klay Thompson guy though. I like Klay. I really like Klay's game. I like everything about it. He only talks when he talks too.
Yeah, but Klay got this passive aggressive assholeness to him.
He did, yeah. He do.
And he looked like the PBS symbol. So I laugh every time. I can't take him seriously. Like if you look at Klay's profile, he looks like the PBS.
Just like it.
Stop it.
And it looks like, somebody said once that he looked like he can like take his goatee off at night like Mr. Potato Head. It does look like he can detach his goatee at any moment, like Mr. Potato Head, and just stick it on, take it off. It's hard it's hard to hate Klay because he's so unassuming.
I mean, you know who Klay reminds me of? I'm gonna go back to the theme I just brought up. Klay is Doctor Strange to me.
All right.
Just at any given point, he has all the answers.
And
but
can
he
all of a
will
sudden do
sacrifice
anything.
himself. Right, but he will sacrifice himself. Like he will go 0 for 19. He will be the one that has 7 points. But somehow we eke out a win.
Yeah.
There's one way for us to win this series. It has to be in Game 6. He's gone through 14 million different.
Yeah, and like Doctor Strange, Klay always does the little things that gets them over the hump.
Little things. Things.
I'm trying. Who would KD be? Y'all know how I feel about KD. So,
Kevin is either Captain Marvel or Superman. Like it's one of the
Heck
two.
no.
Can't be. Hell no.
Heck no. I ain't giving that man that much clout.
Hate.
It is. I'll be real. It is a little bit of hate from my end. He's that dude.
Not hate because that's kind of on the surface you could say that, right? If you didn't looking at, you probably think, this dude is Superman. Like he is really, but the deeper you go into it, you realize that when he doesn't have the rest of, when he doesn't have the Avengers behind him, he kind of sucks.
Hey, Jay, I got you. I got KD's comparison. KD is Martian Manhunter. All powerful when he's with his team, but all it takes is a little bit of fire to take that dude out.
Plus, dude is randomly invisible. Hilarious. That was the best.
Yeah.
That's who KD is. KD is Martian Manhunter.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Cannot even be mad.
Yeah.
You know?
And as you see, when without him, his team is still pretty damn good.
I cannot believe they're about to win this game. I am so upset. Like, what is going on, man?
It's a Warrior. I mean, it's the Rockets issue. This ain't a Warriors issue.
This is a Rockets issue. And what people also forget is that the Warriors won their first title without a KD.
They won that joint because a lot people got hurt in almost every round up to the finals in the West, and Kyrie got hurt. Oh, the stars aligned.
Just because the stars align doesn't have anything to do with the price of tea in China.
It doesn't.
It actually tells part of the story, because what happened the following year
when Draymond got ejected and
no. Like you can't like say when you earn any. Well, first of all, Draymond didn't get ejected for hitting anybody in the nuts.
No, he got ejected for everything else.
He got exactly, and he got suspended for accumulating technicals.
Yeah, for everything else.
Right. So it's not like that one event. Like somebody had this vendetta against Draymond. It was like, no, he caused that as an accumulation. But what I'm saying is that when they faced Thanos, aka LeBron,
the real Mad Titan,
when somebody else was at full strength and motivated, they had to go get Martian Manhunter in order to like.
No doubt.
So, like the same way you can throw in the fact that Draymond got ejected, that's part of the storyline. So the fact that people got hurt on the way on their road to that first title, that's part of the storyline. So it actually does have something to do with the price of tea in China, because it's part of what happened. And we saw that when there is somebody on there, which is why they came and got KD and why he joined them, because the whole league knew that there was one man in the league who was that powerful that they had to join forces, and there was no way they were going to consistently beat this one man in a championship round if he's healthy and motivated. And they did what they had to do. But you know, it still doesn't take away from the fact that they had to do it.
Fair enough. So does that make Andre Iguodala Batman?
Stop it.
Oh.
Stop it. That's so that is so disrespectful.
You're talking about a finals MVP. Watch your tone.
Well, yeah, but he is the finals MVP. But the
Andre Iguodala is the most laughable finals MVP in NBA history.
Oh, see, now you're just being disrespectful.
A little bit.
Okay, I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it because he did, like, in big moments during that series, he did show up.
He held LeBron to 40 points a game. He held
LeBron to 38 points a game, 17 boards, and 13 assists, right?
Yeah, that's all we needed.
And
he
so
held him.
Exactly.
He held him.
That's what it was. He was the MVP by default.
So are you calling Iggy Plastic Man?
I was thinking like Lark, David Zimbabwe.
Wow. This guy, man. Now you're just being disrespectful. I'm trying to tell you. Can he at least be a Grayson?
He can. No, you're not going to disrespect Grayson like that. He can be Howard the Duck.
No, you're not going to disrespect Iggy like that. Like, that's just not going to go down. Like, can we at least agree that he is, if not a founding member of either give me Hawkeye then. How about that? Give me Hawkeye.
Yeah, I can give you Hawkeye, because as Mig said about Hawkeye, Iggy should have been dead a long time ago.
Long time ago.
All right. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
No, we
but you know, and not to discredit Iguodala, but yeah, but we talked about Kyrie the other night on the show, and Iguodala's kind of in that same boat.
I disagree.
Where I'm not comparing them as players,
Okay.
But I'm saying as far as reliability and ability to carry a team, like he showed throughout his career that he could be the leader of a team and he could be a number one, just not on a on a championship caliber team.
So you're putting him in the same category as a Jimmy Buckets.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I hear where that's going.
Yeah.
Jimmy got a chance to do something with his closeout game too. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it just should be interesting, but I don't know. Jimmy, Jimmy showed that he could be the leader of a team and score 25 a game. Just ain't gonna be on a championship caliber team. Like somebody got to lead the team in scoring, and so it's probably gonna be
true.
Yeah.
I try to tell V's that all the time about some of these Chicago Bulls dudes who be like dropping like 25, 5, like Zach. I'm like, who else gonna score? Zach gotta drop 30 a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody I say about any like people talk about like, but he led the team in tackles. Hell, somebody got to. What do you mean? Like,
somebody got to. I mean, you're right.
Somebody got to. Somebody has to lead the team in everything. But if you're not winning anything, like I tried to tell Pooh this a long time ago, right? I mean, when we would talk about like, because Pooh has this thing where he wants to discredit anything LeBron does.
Just
so
like
he'll try to say, so they try to say that the Warriors aren't that good to make it look like LeBron ain't getting beat by a team with 5 All-Stars on it, right? And so I try to tell him, so he'll be like, oh man, but like Clay ain't a top 25 player in the league. I'm like, man, Clay could be the leader of a team. Draymond could be the leader of a team by just them on another. You take Clay and put him in Charlotte, he'd be the best player on that team. They probably win 30 games, but he'd be the best player on that team. He'd lead them in scoring, probably be their best defender. Same with Draymond, same with Boogie. Like we've seen it from all these guys, but as a collective and the way that they play, that's what I give them credit for. The way that they play when they're focused and they're on, it's impossible to beat them in a series.
You think Draymond could lead a team?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
He wouldn't be like he wouldn't be, I don't think he'd be a number one scoring option, but he'd lead a team in a sense that like Scottie Pippen led the Bulls when Mike was out. Like he'll lead a playoff caliber team. Probably, he'd never be a 30 point a game night scorer, but Draymond does so much that he'd be a leader of that team in other ways.
I don't know if Draymond can be a number one. I don't know if Draymond can be a number one. Because I don't think Go ahead. No, what were we about to say?
Anybody could be a number one. Like, he could be a number one. It'd probably be a bad team. If Draymond's your number one, it's a pretty bad team.
Okay.
Like, definitely a lot.
Okay, true that. All right. I can say that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like if you put him on anybody's team, his intangibles, his whatevers are going to get you a couple of extra wins. Like the way that he plays the game, he's going to get you a couple extra wins.
Well, let's do it like this then. Let's do a team like the Clippers, a good team that just doesn't. That's probably like a superstar or two away from being a serious contender. Just the way they play. So put Clay on the Clippers. What you think they'll do?
Clay is good for 3 more wins.
Ooh, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think so. I'd say Clay's good for at least another 8 wins. One, because obviously he's an elite shooter, but he's probably the best on-ball wing defender in the league consistently. And like I said the other night, not when he's asked to do it on special occasions, but just on coming out night after night, he's probably the best on-ball wing defender in the league. Non-specialist.
I think Kawhi Leonard probably has something to say about that.
He's definitely got a name in the hat.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
I'll give you top 3, top 5.
Yeah, I ain't asked. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't looking for a debate right now. What I'm saying, he's in the conversation. So, and then also, when you take what he does away from the Warriors, I think that counts for something. You know what I'm saying? So, like the opportunities he'd have in another system, and what it would take away from the Warriors. And given that the Clippers and the Warriors are in the same division, I'd say 8 games.
Fair enough.
Wow, that's a big jump. That would mean they would probably go from like the 8th seed to the 4th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
5th
that
seed in the West?
I don't think that the seed, like I'm looking at it from the seeding perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he changes the Clippers seed. I think he changes the Clippers seeding by 1. I think they become the 7th seed instead of the 8th seed.
I don't know, because what were the Clippers missing, especially after they traded Tobias? They were missing scoring, and they were definitely missing shooting.
Mm-hmm. They had another shooter. They could have. It would have been a 7-game series.
Right, and Clay gonna give you 12 games a year when he just explode for 20 and a half.
37
if
and
not
a
quarter.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Agreed.
So what about Draymond then?
If he goes to the Clippers?
If he goes to the Clippers, because I think they're in the same spot if he goes to the Clippers, if not a couple notches lower.
I could agree with that. Just because I don't, for what the Clippers need, I don't think Draymond makes that big of a difference.
Fair enough. I can't argue.
But I'll say this, though. They would probably be one of the top 3 defensive teams in the league.
Absolutely. And they would definitely lead. If there's a stat for drawing techs on the other team, they would lead the league in that shit.
Draymond and Patrick Beverley would be the most dynamic defensive duo in the league, hands down, no question.
Yeah. And, yeah.
I mean, no question. I don't like Draymond, but that dude can play some defense, man.
Yeah. And Draymond's not the dude like you start your franchise with if you want to win a ring. He's he's a piece around that guy.
I mean, I still feel like if we're starting a franchise right now, Dre's a lottery pick.
Oh, yeah, heck no.
Yeah. No, he a lottery pick is in top 15.
Yeah, I think he's. I take that back.
We're saying out of all the
Yeah, if we just took every team, erased it, and put everybody back in the hat.
Draymond might not get drafted in the first round.
No, he's probably not. Now that I've actually thought it all the way through.
He go top 25.
I can name 25 players better than Draymond.
I ain't saying yes, that's what I'm saying. I ain't saying players better than. I'm saying if you're trying to win a championship.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So it's like Bill Belichick once said: "Is we not accumulating talent, we building a roster." Right. So, if your goal is to win a championship, Draymond's definitely in my top 25. If your goal is to win stats and maybe a one-on-one tournament, absolutely not.
But see, if you take him in your top 25, so you take him top 25, that means your second round pick, you have to go get scoring.
Yeah.
Like you have to go get offense if Draymond's your first pick. Like if you go with scoring with your first pick, then you got a little leeway. You can go with a two-way player, like a who's a good two-way wing right now. You could go with like a Chris Middleton in your second round, someone who can play both ways, get you buckets on both ends. Just speaking on playoff people, that's But you know what I mean. Like you can get somebody like that.
If you get Draymond in the first and Middleton in the second, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
I guess I'd be happy with that
solid
too.
core.
Now I think about it.
Yeah. Or even if you got somebody, or if you got a Tobias Harris in the second round,
or Jimmy Butler.
No, I'm thinking Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, right? Kemba Walker. There's a lot of guys you can, that can get you buckets. And I just know, like, if my goal is to win a championship, you need a guy like Dre on your team.
Yeah. So shout out to PJ Tucker.
Right.
Man, no shout out to nobody on the Rockets, man. Shout out to none of them. They don't get no
I'm showing
love.
PJ Tucker out.
Nah,
PJ Tucker, he balled.
Yeah, he balled. They still ain't win, man. You know what? I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear no more talk about Chris Paul and James Harden being these elite ball players. They are regular season guys. This season, this playoff series cemented that status for me.
Hilarious. So these are the musings of regular Scott. These are regular guys.
pretty much. That's where they stand for me right now. Like,
I fall in the middle, somewhere between the two of you. I do agree that they are regular season stars. They've shown it throughout their careers, both of them. But I don't like. Obviously, they are superstars in this league, but so regular wouldn't be a term I'd attach to them. But they definitely not like. They ain't somebody I bank on carrying me to a championship, through a series. And granted, they do keep losing to the Warriors, so that's it's
luck of the draw.
Right. That's like, but again, like.
Yeah, but they've been in positions to win against the Warriors too,
right.
Yeah,
and that's what it's tough because that'd be like who did the Bulls keep beating? The Knicks. So like the Bulls in the 90s, the Bulls kept beating the Pacers and the Knicks. But if they ever had an opportunity where Michael Jordan was hurt, there's no way I don't think that the Knicks wouldn't figure out a way to win those games.
No question. The Knicks would have won. The Knicks would have won in the playoffs without
absolutely.
If he would have got hurt or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that was, people don't like to talk about it, but the Bulls' biggest weaknesses was big men. That's why Orlando was able to beat them boys when they had Penny and Shaq, because they had a wing and a big man to go with it. You had a dominant big man, you had a shot against the Bulls.
I don't know. I initially, yes, but then Dennis Rodman showed up, and then the big men became. Well, there was a Rodman and a five.
Well, let me ask you
Dennis
this. Let me ask you this: what great big man, when Dennis got there, did the Bulls beat?
What great
Shaq?
Anything did they play to the Bulls beat? They didn't beat Shaq when Dennis got there.
Oh, I'm getting ready to Google some stuff because I don't believe what y'all are saying.
Because I don't think they played a great big man.
Yes, when Dennis got there, Shaq had left to go to L.A. Right, so when Shaq was in Orlando, that's when they went to the finals, and beat. And lost to the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
They lost to Olajuwon. And then the next year they came back and Boston beat Orlando. And then Shaq went to LA.
And I think Hakeem would have gave the Bulls fits.
Yeah, but that's what like that. Yeah, absolutely. He would have gave the Bulls fits. But if you think about what great team did the Bulls actually beat during that run?
All right. So he was only on the Bulls. We're talking about Dennis Rodman in particular, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking about that 3 year stretch.
He was only on the Bulls for 3 years.
Right.
The three-peat years.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means in the playoffs, because they won a championship each year he was there, is all I'm trying to say. Like, Dennis made a difference.
But they won 3 without him, too. No, they won 3 without him, too. But what Scott's saying is, one, they never played against a dominant big man and shut him down. Big man up, Patrick Ewing always gave him fits.
Right.
It's just that it just so happened that Dennis and the Bulls had this guy named Michael who kind of got them out of hid a lot of their flaws. And Scotty. And Phil Jackson.
And people forget that Scottie Pippen led them to the Eastern Conference Finals both years where he was, or the year that Jordan left, and was 4th Maybe even been third in MVP voting. So when Jordan left, Scotty was like, "This, all right, no problem.
All right,
we still here."
And that's my point. Is I don't think what great team did they actually face during that championship run?
I'll say the Knicks.
Knicks. No, I wouldn't even say the Knicks, because even when they lost Michael, the Knicks couldn't win a championship.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
Well, I ain't gonna say lost Michael. When Michael quit, they still couldn't win a championship.
Yeah,
right?
Michael's playing baseball.
Right. And so Pacers won a great team. They didn't win a championship. And when I say great, I mean in the real sense. Like, to be considered a great team, I think you got to win at least one championship in that run. So the Knicks, the Pacers, and not to take anything away from the Bulls, what really happened in that 6-year run, or that 8-year run, was the Celtics and the Pistons got old. And the Lakers got old and lost Magic. There was nobody else really left to challenge and just so happened that those 2 years that Houston probably could have given the Bulls a run, the Bulls didn't make it because Michael wasn't there. They never beat a great team. Like, you look in the finals, they beat 2 Utah teams who were pretty good. They beat a Seattle team.
I'm still Googling, right? So we're talking 95, 96 as 1 year, 97, 98 is the second year, and 98, 99 is the third year, correct?
No, it should be 94, 95.
94, 95, 95, 96.
No, 95, 96, 96, 97, 97, 98. My bad.
Right.
My bad.
Yeah.
So in 95, 96, they beat the Miami Heat. They beat the New York Knicks.
Not a great team.
They beat Shaquille O'Neal in the Orlando Magic.
Yes, that was when.
All of this to say, Dennis made a difference.
Right. That's not. Yeah, but we're not saying Dennis didn't make a difference. But what's
said that big men were their problem.
No, I didn't. Yeah, they still were a problem though. But who did they play with a great big man?
They're not right. They're not mutually exclusive. Big men could be your problem, and you could still win.
Yeah. So they played Alonzo Mourning, then Patrick Ewing, then Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay, so what were Alonzo Mourning's stats during that round? What was Patrick Ewing's stats during that round? And what were Shaquille O'Neal's stats during those rounds? The argument is not whether they were a better team. The argument is whether the big man gave them problems.
Okay, that's a fair argument. I'm not going any deeper.
Okay, that's what I just want to make sure you was willing to go down this road.
No, I am. But at this point, I realize that we are not on the flagship. We are on Taking E from Marvel versus DC. And Lee's 70 blurs right now is sitting there going, they're still doing it.
Well, we are talking about statistics, though.
They're still doing it.
Hey, look, all of Oz's friends are right now going, what are they talking about?
They're asleep.
No, they're like, what are they talking about? I don't know anything what's going on.
Oz himself then got a beer. V's might actually be here for this conversation.
Yeah. V's is going to be pissed.
Who is Shaquille O'Neal? I don't know.
Shaquille, right. Who is that guy?
V's is going to be so mad that we had a sports conversation on this show. He's going to be upset.
Like I said, I keep trying to bring it back to the comics. I do, I promise. Yeah.
All right, well let's bring it back to the comics. I haven't had either of y'all's opinions on Endgame, so let's talk a little Endgame. What'd you guys think?
I loved it.
Go ahead, Vandal. Yeah,
I loved it. Like the young Kingpin, you seen that?
I have, and I'm with Miggs. I like Infinity War better. It's the first thing I could say.
Agreed.
Secondly, it could have been 2.5 hours long, and I would have been good with it. Because I think there were too many scenes early where they focused too much on getting the team back together and tying everything up. So they could have cut 30 minutes out of that part of it. Overall, I liked it. it just made me coming out of it wanting more. So I guess it's a good thing and kind of but overall I liked it. I watched Infinity War again afterwards just to make sure, and I definitely like Infinity War better. I'm just not a fan of making anything 3 hours long in one sitting.
Yeah, that was like zero intermission, zero.
Right.
We got no time to go do anything because like I ordered a large popcorn and a large drink.
Yeah.
First, you should have known better.
Well, no, I mean I did know better, but I also knew how long the movie was, so a medium wasn't gonna suffice for this one.
True that.
So I sat there. I had to deal with the 2 hour and 20-minute mark where my bladder decided it needed to tell me what was going on. Yeah. And then the 2 hour and 35-minute mark where my legs were like, so we've legit not moved.
Mm. Nah.
Here's a cramp you're unaware of.
All right. But overall, it was good. I enjoyed it. I actually went on a Monday night. I just gotten out of town back in town on Sunday, and of course, by the time I got back, really didn't feel like going. Really didn't feel like dealing with crowds like that. So I told my kids, "Look, we'll go on Monday. We go to a late show. You get to stay up late. I just better not have any issues waking you up in the morning." So we went to the 8 o'clock. Of course, ended up getting out of there like 11:30, and they enjoyed it. It was great, man. A lot of memorable scenes. My favorite was, of course, the initial scene where everyone shows up and it's like everybody in one scene. Of course, the scene with all girls, the really quick scene. I think they could have made like a bigger part out of that.
I like the ladies' first scene.
Yeah, I liked it. I would have liked more of it. Is what I'm saying. But then I think overall, like even in the ultimate demise, and even in his ultimate demise, I think Thor showed how badass he really is, and I mean not Thor, Thanos showed how badass he actually is in this movie. Like, agreed. I was highly impressed. Yeah.
Agreed. Like the very few villains go out that gangster.
Right.
I'm still surprised he was able to. My thing was he was able to beat Thor, Cap, and Tony with no gauntlet, no stones.
Right.
But in Infinity War, Thor was able to beat Thanos with a full gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I still haven't quite figured that out, but I've been listening to a couple of shows and reading a couple articles myself, and one of the things that that seems to get brought up is that as soon as you put the gauntlet on, apparently it kind of drains you, so that way you can, like, I guess, get used to it and kind of get fully ingrained in the power. So I guess they were saying that's why Thor was able to take advantage of him, because he had just completed the gauntlet.
Oh, you know what? I have to give a posthumous spoiler alert for this. If you haven't seen Endgame, I don't expect you to be listening to this show.
If you haven't seen Endgame by now, you can't even watch TV.
Well, like, I don't expect you to be listening to Take a Knee version of Marvel vs. DC, because you already know they about to tell you what happened.
We couldn't do a non-spoiler review if we wanted to.
Like, not ever. Not ever. At some point, there's just a general spoiler alert that's involved in listening to this show.
I remember the first one. I don't remember what movie it was or TV show. We were going to do like a non-spoiler first part, and we were going to do a spoiler last part, and like the second thing one of us said was a complete spoiler about the ending of what happened and everything. And we were like, all right, this isn't going to work.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to talk about. Like,
people do it, man, and I'm impressed with them. Like, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I know, but I think it takes a whole lot of, like, for me, like, it's easier. Like when Miggs does, no spoilers in his writing. Like, at least he can, there's a backspace when you type. Right,
he can edit.
Like, once you say something, you said something. So yeah, I mean, I just think it'd take a whole lot of charting and game planning and blueprinting in order to just have an entire show speaking about something like that. I mean, it's been done. You're right, but it's got to be difficult.
No, I agree.
Yeah, the preparation phase of it has got to be a whole different level.
Right. Yeah.
And shout out to Movie Man Miggs. I did spot Howard the Duck when I went back and watched it again. So shout out to Miggs for that little Easter egg right there.
That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was a quick little shot, and I was like, wow, he really is in there.
I know. Yeah, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping with the reappearance of Howard the Duck in the last few movies that they don't make a new movie for him. Just let him be a little cameo guy.
I want him to be a cartoon or something. Give me some Howard the Duck.
I think he's getting a TV show.
I could take a TV show. Just don't give him anything in the MCU. Like, nah.
Not too much, huh?
Nah. Like the Howard the Duck movie when I was a kid was so trash.
Yeah, it was, but it still makes me giggle every time I think about it.
So Vandal Savage, let me ask you. You know, Kingpin doesn't watch Game of Thrones, so what do you think about people who don't watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, we had this conversation on the other day.
Y'all did have this conversation on y'all show.
Yeah, I'm not mad at them because, like, in reality, I don't watch The Real Housewives, but a lot of people watch them. I don't watch The Bachelor, but a lot of people watch them. I don't watch a lot of things that people keep telling me. I don't like Power.
Huh, Power's
I tried it. I don't watch
any of them.
They lost me in the first season of Power. Spoiler alert. But they lost me in the first season of Power when when Ghost went back to her and didn't kill her after they found out she was a Fed. No, I was done right there. I know too many people who sell drugs. That's not an option. So I was done there. That wasn't realistic to me, and I was unable to suspend my disbelief any further.
Hold on. So you watched the show that has dragons and
See, with the
army of dead people,
suspension of disbelief.
But that just crossed the line. Like that was too much. That was too much of that's funny.
Look, man, like we done been through a bunch of these conversations, right? Fantasy, I already know you're making this up as you go along.
It's all fantasy.
But I know real life dope boys, and that's not an option in real life dope boyness. So as a result, I was like, and I can't anymore. Right there, that was just where I was done.
I mean, I argue with that part. I don't watch either one of them. I don't watch any of the shows you just named.
Empire. A lot of people watch Empire. Can't do it. I try and give them all. Like I give them all one episode with people who love it, and I can't ever. There's certain things I don't like it. But when it comes to again anything that's we're already talking about stuff that doesn't exist. Sure, make up stuff. That stuff is intriguing to me personally.
So, question for y'all. And I saw a lot of people making a big deal out of this. I kind of asked my wife about it. She's a huge Game of Thrones fan. Did y'all take issue with the Starbucks cup?
They ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, that's all there is to that.
Like you have the best show on TV, the best as far as like successful, people talking about it, ratings, all that. You have the biggest show on TV right now in the most crucial moments of this entire series. Like these last 3 episodes are going to be what the series is remembered for. And you got a Starbucks cup. In and what is going to go down as one of the bigger scenes in the series because it really told a lot without saying a word. And
her face said everything. her caramel macchiato said something else.
Oh well. See, what the problem was, she got it for John, and John doesn't. John drinks decaf.
Oh, is that what the issue is?
So he's from the north.
He is a tea drinker,
and actually he likes iced coffee.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
He got used to the wall, the way they drink their coffee, nice and cold. So
right.
he just wasn't happy with it, and she was hoping that somebody would come by and maybe say, "Hey, can I have the coffee?" I drink coffee, but nobody did, and it really affected her, and I think her feelings were hurt.
Yeah. She looked butthurt in her defense. She really did. Like, it was just like, oh, I ordered this. This space got little hearts over the eyes.
Hey, Kingpin, let me ask you this. Sure. I'm gonna give you two people. These are pretty much the two sides that you get to choose from. Which side are you gonna root for in this big battle that's coming? Are you gonna root for the side that has the brother and sister who sleep together and have children, or are you gonna root for the aunt and her nephew who sleep together and have dragons? Both of the women are crazy in the relationship, by the way.
Apparently, yeah, you think? Man, those are the only choices I got.
Those are the choices right now.
Hey, Vandal, am I missing a choice for him?
No, those are the real life choices right now.
Man.
Those are the two sides of the war.
That's who you have to choose from.
I can't just root for LeBron. Man, shit.
Hey, unfortunately, there's only two black people in the entire show, and one of them just got beheaded. So,
man. And okay. I go for the aunt and nephew. At least the blood separation's a little further there. But
you picked the right one.
That's another reason I can't watch it. I've seen this shit before so many times, and it's just nothing that draws me in to want to watch something I've seen. I've seen white wizards and dragons, and I've seen that shit before. And whenever that happens, one of the two black dudes gets beheaded before it's over. Like I've seen all that shit before. So it's just nothing that draws me in.
I'm 90% sure the other black guy's gonna die too.
Oh yeah, but I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna at the very least die in a blaze of glory.
I hope he kills Cersei.
Alive?
Who?
Yeah, he's still alive and well.
See, that's what I'm saying.
The imp is alive and well.
They're not gonna kill off the little guy.
No, I feel like somehow that's the PR nightmare.
Right.
It would be. They would be.
Like not the incest. No. Killing off the little person. Somehow that's the PR nightmare in this situation.
Yeah.
Vandal, you did say you had some thoughts that you wanted to share.
I do. I don't remember if you go back a couple of episodes, the last open mic I was on, I literally said and I still am a firm believer, Sansa Stark is going to probably end up on the Iron Throne, but only as a result of Arya Stark's actions.
Yeah, it looks like my predictions is one of mine just got beheaded. So
yeah, boom, 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 boom.
I know I need that one. Hey, Kingpin, I was actually rooting for one of the black characters to make it to the end. To just win the whole thing.
You know better than that.
You should know better than that.
But see, it would be. I was thinking that it would be a smaller, a minor character who people kind of forget about, who's been there the whole time, and it's kind of important. Guess not.
Nope. Not in any way, shape, or form.
Not at all. And Kingpin, I know that you wanted to bring up LeBron. Since we got our nerdism out, now we can go back to sports.
We got our nerds back. Right. Yeah, and really quickly. And I was just, of course, like you said, it was Last minutes, we're trying to figure out things to talk about. But yeah, man, I think at this point it's safe to say that the Lakers may be the most dysfunctional franchise in the NBA. And that's very sad to say.
The most?
Yeah.
You know the Sacramento Kings are alive, right?
Absolutely. And the Kings are actually on like the ascent.
The Phoenix Suns are still there. You're aware of that too, huh?
The Suns just hired the coach who the Lakers wanted.
Okay, all right.
The Lakers shouldn't have did that little dick move to Ty Lue and everything would be fine.
The Boston Celtics?
I mean, and all.
We won't even be talking about Boston next year.
Yeah, but Boston is like dysfunctional for a playoff team. They still, relatively speaking, they're still in a pretty good position.
Oh, they're a perennial playoff team, but then this is about as good as it's going to get as far these last 2 years, as far as how far I think they'll go. Because you're not going to get a more talented player than Kyrie Irving. That doesn't mean that that's
the problem.
That probably is the problem. You're not going to get a more talented player than that. And I'm not saying he can lead a team, but as far as talent goes, there's not many people better than him.
Yeah, but the talent's great, but and again, if you're the most talented person in a non-sport like golf, probably gonna win all the time. You're the most talented.
V, shout out again.
But if you have the most talented guy on a roster that doesn't have any chemistry and nobody likes each other, on or off the court, probably not gonna go very far. So I think chemistry, and so they may not be better without Kyrie, but they'll probably be better off.
I agree. Kyrie should have just stayed in Cleveland, and he would have went to another finals with LeBron.
Right.
And who knows what would have happened when you got there.
Right. But everybody want to be Batman.
And that's the problem. Everybody want to be Batman, but don't nobody want to spend no time as Robin and learn a thing or two.
Right.
Yeah, don't spend no time as Bruce and learn a thing or two. Let's call it what it is.
And everybody's not built Batman. To be right. Everybody's not built to be Batman.
Yeah,
and that's
but
okay.
I will give this to Kyrie. He did acknowledge it, and sometimes you got to go through that to realize, what, I ain't built for this. But yeah, LeBron is built for this. He deserves better. Ty Lue deserves better than what they offered him. At this point, I think of course, the big gold trophy right now for the Celtics and the Lakers, considering where both teams are, would be Anthony Davis. And he could, a player like that can transform all and kind of hide all your maladies. But you're right. I think this is the furthest the Celtics are going to go with this current group. Those young guys haven't stepped up like they thought they were. And right now, LA's got to start over from scratch.
And I think Jaylen Brown, to me, is probably the most disappointing as far as his progression, because I thought Jaylen Brown was going to be that next great, and I say great, two-way player. I thought he was going to be able to be that pesky defender, maybe not on a Klay Thompson level or Kawhi, but right up there, and that we got to give you 18, 16, 20 points a game. I mean, that dude sometimes isn't even really in the rotation, but for 15 minutes.
Right. But, when you're trying to reintegrate guys like Kyrie, who is not effective without the ball and is not a great defender, and Gordon Hayward, who at this point still working his way back to get back in all-star form if he ever gets there. And he's not a great defender. And if he's not scoring, he's not. So you got to kind of work those guys in at the detriment of your younger players. And so I get it. I agree with you. But I think, roster construction had a lot to do with that. And so a lot of that blame has to go to Brad Stevens and Danny Ainge. They got greedy with talent. and it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, their talent situation though, it's so. Just real quick for all the blurs out there, quick shout out to the Doom Patrol, just cause. Anyway, the talent situation is they are built to have like we were just talking about on the flagship. They're built to need a point guard who is a classic point guard. And Kyrie is not a classic point guard. Kyrie is a scoring point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So if they had somebody who could distribute, the way the talent is designed around there, like the one from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 1 is their actual question, and he's their most talented player.
Yeah, it's the only All-Star.
Right.
You know, I don't think they have to have a point guard though who distributes, as long as you have a player who can be that point forward or whatever, you know, because I think Terry Rozier could start.
He certainly could for every other team in the league.
And exactly. And think if you had, we were talking about Draymond earlier, a Draymond type player. Draymond could average 8-9 assists on a team like the Celtics.
Yeah. But they have that guy, and Al Horford.
Al is a beast.
Look, you're absolutely right. Run the offense through
Kyrie's there, and but when Kyrie's there, the ball stops and their movement stops, and Al Horford is just hanging around the wing and running in, crashing the boards, waiting.
Right.
Like it throws off everybody's role.
Yeah,
but
like the fact that they don't have a facilitating point guard. That's what it. I think the word is facilitating, not necessarily distributing. But if they need a facilitating point guard, and Kyrie is not a facilitating point guard, he is a score first mentality.
Right. Yeah. Or they just need a facilitator
in general.
Right.
Like a Ben Simmons would fit in well there.
Yeah, and if I'm being blunt, they just don't need Kyrie.
I think you just got a lot of Kyrie disdain.
I like her. I'm just saying, like, there's a I have Kyrie disdain for this reason. The same reason I have disdain for Carmelo Anthony is I hate fake superstars. I didn't like Chris Webber for the same reason. Like, if you want to be a superstar, be a superstar. But when it comes time to actually hold the weight of a superstar, you can't fold in those moments and expect to be held in the same regard. So Kyrie showed in Cleveland that he can be a star in spots and be in the shadow of another star and kind of like soak in that praise when it was convenient. But when everything falls on you for 82 games a year, that's a whole different animal.
It's true. Everybody ain't got the shoulders for it.
Right. And so that's the disdain I have for Kyrie, is that you fought and bitched and moaned your way out of Cleveland, and you got exactly what you asked for. And
it's hilarious.
And he's on a much better team than he was in any other time in his career. So I think Kyrie's got to decide, do I want to get paid and go get mine and, go to the playoffs and win a series here or there, maybe even get to the, Eastern or Western Conference Finals? Do I want to do that? Or do I want to go compete for a championship every year and accept who I am and what I need to be and bring to the table? Because if he can do that, then he needs to go back and play with LeBron. Because LeBron doesn't mind deferring to Kyrie.
Right.
LeBron has respect for Kyrie. That's the big thing with LeBron. He has to respect you to play with you. He's got to trust you. Because once you get that trust from LeBron, man, he'll give you the ball at any point in time and will tell you to fire that thing away. He will instill
shout out to Richard
Jefferson. Yeah, Richard Jefferson, exactly.
James Jones,
come on, man. Yeah. Forgotten people who he'll just be like, "Hey, come on, you can shoot the ball. I'll make you work."
Right.
Shane Battier, Rashard Lewis on his last leg.
Rashard Lewis, Kyle Korver.
Like, I mean, come on. This dude extended Kyle Korver's career another 2-3 years. Same thing with Ray Allen.
Yeah. So, but and if that'll be the biggest thing, if Kyrie's willing to swallow that pride and say, look, man, I got to go play with Big Bro again. If I want this thing to work. I don't know if he's willing to do that, but it would probably work out because LeBron would also take a lot of those bullets media wise from Kyrie.
Yeah, Bron's better at the media overall. Other thing that makes me laugh about the Lakers team that people just, for whatever reason, do not talk about. This Lakers team was in the 4 seed, and then Bron got hurt, and then
4 seed in rolling.
Lonzo got hurt, and then Rondo got hurt. Like, I don't care who you are, you can't lose your first 2 point guards.
Right.
Like, I don't care who,
first 3, because LeBron is also their point guard.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But you officially, no matter what happens, like, I don't think the Lakers underperformed. I think the Lakers got bit by the injury bug. Yeah, and absolutely. Because LeBron is on that team, we act like that didn't happen.
Right.
But they legitimately lost their number 1 point guard, their number 2 point guard, and LeBron got hurt.
Right.
So there's very little you can, like, Brandon Ingram is your point guard right now. Yeah. Like, there was a stretch where Brandon
and Luke Walton is your coach. It was,
That's a guy who got overrated by where he was at.
Right.
It is what it is. You know, a quick shout out to the legends of tomorrow. Blurs, we're still in here. I promise you.
We are.
Okay, here's a little blurred news for you. Chadwick Boseman is going to be cast in a samurai movie about the first black samurai.
Yeah.
There you go.
First of all, that dude plays more biopics than anyone.
Dude, who brought that up the other day?
We did. We talked about it on the show the other night.
Yeah.
He has been Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall.
Yep.
And
T'Challa.
And now he's gonna be a black samurai.
I'm with it.
That, yeah.
I'm with it.
I'm waiting for him to be like Scott Van Pelt or somebody.
Dude, just anybody. I just want him to be at any given point. We just mess with him.
Go all the way. Yeah, just be Donald Trump in a biopic. Something.
Just something. Do something interesting.
Hey, look, y'all better stop wishing that before it happened.
Yeah,
we get a black dude in a white face.
All right.
Which would be amazing and lead to questions like, so what's wrong with whiteface anyway?
Let me tell you something. If there was a black dude who dressed up in whiteface, there would be outrage. He might not make it out that Halloween party.
Nah, yeah. His career is over.
Career?
No,
life.
You talk about arbitrary
His life is over, yeah. Oh, yeah, right. I thought you were talking about it in a movie. But yeah, just in everyday life, oh, yeah, he done.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking about everyday life. Like, his life it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah,
He not
true. Like, you can't necessarily, even if a black dude dressed up as Elvis, he's gonna always be, dude, what are you, I'm Black Elvis?
Yeah, right. But that's the thing, though. Like, that's interesting because black folks don't do that. Like, we'll go as Black Elvis. Mm-hmm. Black dudes ain't gonna go in whiteface and say, I wanted to be Elvis, so I wanted to go all out, and I went in whiteface. White dudes will do that and think it's funny.
Yes.
But we did that because, I mean, we didn't have a Elvis.
We had a James Brown.
But some people liked some black people liked Elvis, so they wanted to be Elvis, but they knew they were black. You know what I mean?
Black people like,
but some white people like James Brown, and they knew they were white, but they still decided to put on blackface.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But they're a little bit more disrespectful.
That is some disrespectful shit. No. But so goes those are the days of our lives.
Was in fact the days of our lives.
Right.
Hey, what were y'all talking about? How did that come up on y'all's show? The days of our lives. What were y'all talking? Oh, y'all were doing Yosh and the trivia with the sitcoms. That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Yosh, man, with soap operas. I'm like, what are you doing? I don't know this stuff. But
the worst part is I knew all of them, and I was so mad. I had to call my dad angrily and tell him that he was going to be mad when he listened because of what I got wrong in trivia. Because my dad, real quick shout out to my dad, but my dad loves General Hospital secretly. Well, clearly not so secretly anymore.
You blew that secret out the water.
When I go home, like the DVR situation on my parents' cable box, because they still have cable. I don't know if you guys know what cable is anymore, but they still have it. And the DVR situation makes me laugh because, like, I had to take back my angst at Arrow and all of the Arrowverse because the whole thing is on the DVR. I had to take back.
He can get rid of season 4 though.
No, I'm not talking about I'm talking about like the current stuff. Like it's every week, and they watch them regularly. But General Hospital is on there every day. Like I'm flipping through the DVR, and the thing says things like The View, General Hospital, Black Lightning, Arrow, and I'm just staring at it, going, then like at Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll just be. And I'm looking at it going, wow, people really do watch. Like they are some of the people that watch Burn Notice. Because there was I heard somebody at one point ask a question when Burn Notice was the hottest thing on TV and nobody watched it that I knew.
Was it the hottest thing because it's called Burn Notice?
If you've never seen Burn Notice,
I've seen a couple of it. I think I saw the wrong episode. I think I watched the bad episode because it was like supposed to be funny, but I just didn't. The humor wasn't hitting right with me.
But what I'm saying is, I loved the show. Like I watched all of Burn Notice. Michael Weston was a G to me. He made me laugh.
I like his the guy that was always with him.
Yeah, Ash.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. He is Ash. It is Ash. You're right. It is.
Yeah. But anyway, so I don't remember where I was going with that exactly, but I know that shout out to my dad anyway.
He had a lot of General Hospital on the DVR.
Because he had a lot of it. So the Yosh trivia and the days of our lives, like I was upset when I didn't get General Hospital right.
Oh, wow. Well, shout out to you. Shout out to your pops for listening.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So.
He messes with y'all like he does. He did. Y'all crack him up either way. Like that much is actually true. He'll call me and say wild stuff about what happened. And so then I got to call y'all and tell y'all the wild stuff that happened in his mind.
Nice.
Like that part is true.
Oh, man. Quick question for y'all. So 2 movies coming out. Like expectation level. Dark Phoenix and Godzilla. What are y'all thinking?
Oh, Gojira.
Dark Phoenix is going to be the last
Fox.
Yeah, it's gonna be the last Fox X. This is gonna be the last X-Men before they go to the MCU.
Right.
I don't think it's gonna be trash. I think it'll be okay.
Right.
You know, I think it'll be better than the last time they tried to do the Phoenix because I thought X-Men Last Stand was awful. I know some people like it, but I thought that was an awful movie. Okay. I think it'll be better than that because I think the actors are a little bit better. I like James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender and all of them. So I think
Stark.
Yeah, and Sansa Stark is pretty good. Yeah, she's pretty good in her role. I like her too. I don't like Cyclops. I think I think he's going to be the one to have to kill her, and I don't really like the guy who plays him, but that's a whole other story. Godzilla I think is going to be dope.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how they're going to bring King Kong into it since that's going to be the next movie is King Kong versus Godzilla. So I'm curious to see how they're going to introduce him.
Yeah, and I just hope they have some kind of twist on it, which they probably will. I mean, it's only so many times you can tell that same story.
Oh, yeah. But I was just, like, I went and saw Endgame IMAX 3D. And so I got, for the first time that I can remember, I'm sitting in there and I'm looking at the previews, and I got a regular preview for Dark Phoenix, and then a special IMAX 3D preview back to back. Completely different and stuff I had never like. I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking forward to Dark Phoenix mostly because I just want to see how much he gonna wild out with this Phoenix Force.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I mean, when my son turned me on to how dope Dark Phoenix is, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. Do y'all? So Scott? What are your expectations? Well, both of y'all. What are your expectations as the X-Men move into the MCU?
I think the X-Men that we will see in the future are going to be a lot more comic book accurate. Like I think like Wolverine's going to be a smaller guy.
He's going to be little.
Yeah, he's going to be a little guy. He's probably going to be a little muscle ball. I think the next Cyclops we get is going to be a true leader. Like he's just going to have that Chris Evans charm about him, where you just when he says something, you're like, all right, I believe in this guy.
Yeah, mess with him.
Yeah, and I think the next Storm we get is going to be a strong black woman who is going to dominate the screen. Like I think we're going to get all those things with the next incarnation. We're going to get a gay Iceman. We're going to get all these. I expect us to get these very comic book accurate interpretations, and I think with X-Men, man, it's just the doors are so open for so many more storylines. Like I've said it before on my show, House of M is one of my favorite comic book storylines ever. And it pretty much a quick little story. It's Scarlet Witch, and we've talked about in this show. She's one of the most powerful people in comics, period.
Omega level mutant.
Just period in comics, DC, Marvel comics, because she can speak anything in and out of existence. And she pretty much says, House of M is when the mutants take over and Magneto's in charge, pretty much. That in a nutshell. Without giving too much away, because there's a lot of twists and turns in it, but without giving too much away, Magneto's in charge of a mutant world.
Hang on for a moment. Did you just non-spoiler a story? What part of the game?
I told you today.
Take a knee
it's a different show today, man. Whole different feel to the show today.
Quick shout out to Stephen Amell, just for the blurs out there. That's just for y'all out there. I'm just making sure we were still on the same show. I'm confused.
Look, enjoy it while you can, because I don't know how long I can keep it up, though.
That's fair. Like along the same lines, though, one of my favorites was Onslaught, and I want to see. To be honest, when they come with the X-Men under Marvel Studios for real, I expect them to take the X-Men the way that they took the Avengers with us. I expect a 22 movie arc. I expect all kinds of, you know what I mean? Like I expect them to go. They're going to give us these little pieces here. Oh, look, it's the Inhumans. Oh, look, it's the Morlocks. Oh, look, it's the, you know what I mean? I expect them to give us little pieces here and there of build up to the point where the last thing that they have to see is Onslaught.
Okay, yeah, I'm with all that too.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
That would be dope.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think we need, because Spider-Man, I thought it did a real good job of not giving us an origin story. Do we need an origin story for the X-Men?
No.
For some characters, yes.
Okay,
but I'll put it that way. As constructed, no. But yeah, I mean, if
more so like the team, like, do we need an origin story of how we got the X-Men, or can we just have the X-Men and maybe have an origin story for certain characters?
Yeah, like I think they need to. There's certain things that people should see about Storm's life.
Yeah, and certain, because there are, I guess, certain characters who have kind of holes in their story.
Right.
Gambit is one that deserves, I think, to have his story told.
I still
favorite
wish they
X-Men.
would have made that damn movie.
Huh?
I wish they would have just made that movie. That movie was green lit, then unlit, then green lit, then unlit.
Channing Tatum even he did everything he could to get that movie off the ground.
I think it would be dope to have a Beast centric movie. But Kelsey Grammer's not Beast anymore, so I don't really give a shit.
He could easily be Beast again, though.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, he's so much better as Beast, and I get he's old. But
one of the things that I do love about the way that the Marvel, these movies in particular, with the exception of Fox's Wolverine, their casting has been so on point.
Right. Yeah.
You know, Chris Hemsworth is Thor as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looked the part, he acted the part, he did Thor-like things.
Yeah.
Scarlett Joe as Natasha. On a related side note, when you guys were talking about that during the spoiler thing, that made I shedded a couple of tears. Of tears. When she gave herself, I shed some tears.
Yeah.
It's a big moment.
It's huge. And then he's just holding the Soul Stone. Like, that was so sick to me. But anyway, their casting has been so amazing. Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Like, even in every movie since that came out, except for Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
And Sherlock.
Since then. No, I felt like he was Tony Stark as Sherlock.
Oh, okay.
Because, and this is what's interesting about Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, is because I think he's Sherlock for real.
Okay. Interesting.
Like, he is definitely Sherlock Holmes. And even as Doctor Strange, to me, I still see a lot of Sherlock in him, but not like the only thing he did was slow down his spit so the squares could understand him. Like, in reality, he just stopped talking so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was Dr. Stephen Strange. And it was just oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because if you look at early Sherlock's an amazing show. But if you watch early Sherlock, listen to how quickly he spits things out. But then you watch Doctor Strange and you're like, oh, I see what you've done here. You just slowed it down so people can hear you, but you're kind of the same character.
So let me ask you this then, because you're speaking about the characters and how people have made them iconic.
Yes.
Hugh Jackman, for me, has done that for Wolverine.
He truly did, except as a comic book purist, he was always too big.
Always, but he
looked the part.
And embodied it.
And he acted like the Wolverine. He acted like Logan.
He went into berserker mode when he would start going off. Like, it was you felt the berserker mode.
Mm-hmm. You know, like, you could see he was juiced to the gills he was on the roid. He had the roid rage correct. Like, he looked the part, except he was just too big. Like, he wasn't ever supposed to be that big.
He was a big guy.
Like, height-wise is what I mean by that.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
But other than that, he was perfect. Like, even I remember when we would stop before the first X-Men's came out, and people would stop and be like, dude, who would be a good Professor X? And just, like, almost universally, we were like, Patrick Stewart. And then they cast him, and it was like, dude, you guys did a great job. Wow. But then in the same movie, Halle Berry as Storm, we were like, you're reaching, guys.
And the only one that bothers me now is Mark Ruffalo. Because I so wish Ed Norton wasn't the asshole that he is, because he's a much more, like,
he deserves everything.
He's a much better Banner to me. Right? Yeah,
he deserves everything he gets.
Yeah, but he's a more natural fit as Banner for me than Ruffalo. But I mean, I'm used to it now. But it took a while for me to get used to it.
Right, I agree with that.
Was it as jarring as like a Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard switch?
Yeah, Don Cheadle and Terrence Howard. Yeah, I mean, to me, that was along the lines of like Aunt Viv switches. Like, do that.
Right. It's like, hey, what happened to dark skin Aunt Viv?
Right.
Because I really like Terrence Howard. Like I was looking forward to his War Machine. You know, him suiting up.
Because Terrence Howard as Rhodey in the first Iron Man, he was hilarious. Right. He was perfect.
Great. Him and Tony Stark were great together.
Dude, the argument that they had with the drinks on the private plane as the stripper pole comes up, that was the funniest thing.
I imagine that scene on Iron Man 2 when they're in the courtroom. Him and Don Cheadle are having a conversation with the microphone right there, and they're just going banter back and forth, and that's a great scene. If that was Terrence Howard, that would be one of the more memorable scenes in MCU.
Yeah. But Don Cheadle is also amazing. He makes it a point to be the most unassuming superstar we've ever seen. Basically, like at this point, he is really, really good at stealing scenes from major players.
Right.
Like that's just what he does with his time. But
Tony Stank,
he can. That's what he did. That's what I'm saying. Like he just stealing scenes from people. Like, all right, hold on. You acting? I'm acting too. Just me.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna end the open mic night with this question. Then we'll go into our final blows. After seeing Endgame and kind of seeing where all the pieces and all the chips have fallen, and reading the breadcrumbs that they left for us, what are you most excited for, or most want to see them do in the next phase of Marvel?
That's a good question. I'm most excited to see Okoye's story being told. And that's just me personally banking on hope that they do it. I think that she'll have a really dope storyline.
I like that. I like her too.
All right. Well, I am most excited about the Asgardians. And I hope that if they've done it correctly.
When you say the Asgardians, you talking about the ones that Valkyrie's in charge of now?
No. The Asgardians of the Galaxy. Pardon me. I didn't say the whole word.
Yeah. Okay.
No, the Asgardians of the Galaxy. Because what should happen in Guardians 3 is we should get our Nova sighting there.
Or Adam Warlock.
I'm so distraught by what they didn't do with Adam Warlock. That's that's a personal pet peeve for the Infinity War in general. Yeah. But other than that, anyway, that struck a nerve a little bit. But because I think that's where Nova's going to be introduced, because he's the rumored to have a movie coming. Mm-hmm. And so if he's rumored to have a movie coming, like at least let us see him. That's what they did with Black Panther. They let us see him. And then they gave us the movie. So we were just like, yo, who? Oh, that's the Black Panther. And then we already had that hype. Now, the people that don't know Nova's sick with it. This is one of the times where I wish we had the comic connoisseur to give us a Nova breakdown, but Nova's sick with it.
Oz would have been like, hey, get your showers ready, go put your food in the microwave, do what you need to do.
Said, walk your dog, wash your car.
Hey, look, though, you would have learned something by the end of his rant, though.
Absolutely.
Today, what we did for all of the blurs, we gave you guys water cooler talk.
Right.
Pretty much.
Specifically, when you go to work on Monday, then you'll be able to tell people, hey, the Warriors just won that game, right?
Yeah.
You can give them a little basketball talk, a little comic
and
talk.
And then just walk away.
And then just dip on them.
Yeah, don't engage too deep into the conversation because you might get lost.
We might have given you enough background on the Lakers to give you a good Laker conversation. That's about it.
Yeah. Right.
One of the
now you know who LeBron is.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was saying, now you know who LeBron is. So.
No, regular keep LeBron in. He keeps him in conversation.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
No, I'm not about Scott. I'm talking about the
Oz.
general blurred world.
Oz.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right.
Did you hear the episode where V's like set a score or something, and I asked Oz if he knew who they were, and he was like, baseball or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Dude, I was on the episode specifically where you were like, March Madness, who you got?
That's right.
And I just immediately tossed one out, and Oz was like, Pestilence.
That's right, because I asked him who he had. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be so disappointed if Oz actually started talking sports. Like, I was like, nah, I don't want to hear this anymore. So, stay golden, Pony Boy. Yeah.
Oh, snap. Hey, what's the name of the horse that just got this? What's the name of the horse that just got disqualified?
Oh,
at the Kentucky Derby. What's the name of that horse?
Oh, and the I wish I knew offhand which horse.
I was watching the race too.
Oh, not 2018. Google, stop asking me weird questions.
I have no idea.
I don't remember the one that got DQ'd.
Jay, Kingpin, you're supposed to be the sports guy here. What's going on, man?
Kentucky Derby is not a sport, so
it is for the horses. It absolutely is for the horses. They are working hard.
Horses run fast.
Yeah, that's just what they do.
Well, clearly you have to run in a straight line or you get DQ'd.
Maximum security?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
So are we comparing the Mighty Ozzy Killmonger to maximum security?
If he started talking sports.
Yeah, right.
That's
Get to the end of the show, like, Oz, you disqualified. We're just going to mute you for that.
Yeah, we're going to wait to the very end, too, after he gets the trophy and all that. All right, well, let's get to our final blows. And before we do that, I do just want to say, West Coast Jay, Vandal Savage, Kingpin Jay, this was last minute, and I really appreciate you guys being able to jump on and fill in for V's and Oz. They had some things going on while, V's has a golf tournament that he's in, and Oz has some things going on, and I really appreciate you guys jumping on short notice with us.
No problem, man.
Always a pleasure.
So let's get to our final blows. The newly anointed on this episode, Kingpin J. Go ahead and give your final blow. Plug whatever you want.
Shout out to V's, man. Hope you win your hopscotch tournament. Takes a lot of men have fought hard to make hopscotch a sport, and I hope that you represent us well. I'm not sure if anybody's aware, but we are officially starting a Defy Life hopscotch team, and V's is going to be the captain.
Look out for that 4-5 square.
Right. So, V's, man, get them with the 1 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot, and bring back that title, man. That's all we asking for.
Shots fired.
But on a serious note, I just want to give a shout out. A few things across the network. Congrats to Al for his son graduating college.
Oh, and yeah, definitely.
His daughter taking an internship in South Africa, which Al is traveling there this week. So safe travels to you, Al.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Al. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, always proud to see, and his son is part of the Defy Life family too. So congrats to you, Alvin Benjamin. And we also, again, condolences to you, Money. He had a death in the family this week, so he wasn't on our show this week. So our hearts are with you, Money. But yeah, everybody, thanks for the support across the network. We are bringing some new shows in, so we'll have some new members of the family around the beginning of June. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, it's an honor to be here, Scott. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, look, while I got you on, I need you to sign this contract that says I am officially Defy Life for at least 5 years since I hear you bringing on these new shows. And, I already lost 2 co-hosts, so I feel like I'm getting slowly pushed out.
Nah, man, that's the beauty of the whole thing, right? So when we bring on new shows, we are never we owe it to you and every host on this network to never bring in another show that crosses into your lane. So you always have the comics, and as Oz would put it, you'll always be just a couple blurs.
Doing what you love.
Doing what you love on a Sunday.
What else you got to do on a Sunday?
Hey, look! Y'all saw the comment he put on that picture. You saw him give the Black Panther the Wakanda war cry. Bombay. He coming for y'all. I'm letting you know he coming. Bombay. He coming.
Yeah. Well,
he coming back with a vengeance.
Just hope his shot back is better than that commercial.
Hey Jay, you got a lot of people that could be coming back for you. Money got something for you too for that last episode.
Hey, that was West Coast Jay that was shouting out money, man.
I know, but look,
actually, Yosh,
the
Jay,
real is back.
Right.
You feel me? It's 2 for Tuesdays.
I got Al coming for me.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you did. And oh man, hey, they comeback show is gonna be great. Vandal, what you got for the final blow?
Money shouldn't be coming for me at all.
Why
money
not?
Should be because I was not firing shots. I was actually being quite flattering.
Bro, you did his entire first 3-minute
monologue. Yeah, you did. I mean, word for word.
Word for word.
But
like that's what it is.
We ask a question by our listener, and we have to by contract we have to answer those questions. It's actually in our contract with our listeners. We have to answer those questions. So, if we didn't, there wouldn't be a show. So, shout out to Yosh for the toilet flush.
He hit that joint too.
So these Oz, Money, Al, man,
Yosh hit everybody.
Yosh was just going in like he didn't leave us nobody. Like at one point, I thought like I was gonna have to Yosh was gonna take everybody, and I was gonna have to impersonate Rodney McDaniel, and nobody even knows who the hell Rodney McDaniel is. That's how bad it got.
I thought that would have been one of the people that write the articles.
Yeah, right. Well, Rodney was on the first 2 episodes of the Defy Life show, and he wrote a couple articles, and nobody knows what the hell happened to Rodney McDaniel after that. So Rodney McDaniel is like a ghost of Defy Life. He's like a myth. He's an OG.
Kingpin done ignited a cold case.
Right? Yeah, like people walk around the halls of our Defy Life offices like, does Rodney McDaniel exist? Like, I think I saw the ghost of Rodney McDaniel on the 3rd floor. So, yes.
Hey, Vandal, you remember we were talking about how Kingpin has a way of making people disappear?
Real quick, man.
Real quick.
Who made disappear? I made somebody disappear.
He said something slick to him. That's what happened. Rodney said something slick.
Hey, Rodney was Pooh's boy. I don't know what happened to him. Like, Rodney came on with, big promises and a whole bunch of big talk. Yeah, I'm gonna help Pooh run the fantasy stuff and do the fantasy. I'm gonna run this fantasy joint and be on the Defy Life show. That kid lasted 2 weeks. No stamina. Right? He was no stamina. He was like a golfer.
Oh.
Hey, yo, you just killing V's today, huh?
Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry.
Poor V's.
There's a lot of shots.
I told you in the beginning, if you had you needed an AK, AR, you needed something that had a lot of bullets.
I need a machine gun Kelly.
You needed it, yeah. You needed one. Let's be honest. No, you know what? While I'm thinking about it, what would you rate this Houston Warriors season there, regular? What's your rating on that one?
Here's what I'm going to do. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I give them a Mira's hair.
Just the Warriors, or we talk about the Rockets? Like who gets Mira's hair?
Okay, the Rockets gets Mira's hair. Okay, on the Guardians motorcycle with nobody driving it, and it's on autopilot. I will give the Warriors a solid MGK for their performance tonight. In Houston, no KD. Iguodala had like 19 points. Sean Livingston had like 14 points. Looney had like 15 points. You can't beat them with that.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
Why are you making me mad anyway before we get off here?
These were shots that was being fired.
But why? Why?
West Coast J. I am from the city.
That don't mean you gotta like them. I'm here in the East Coast near the Redskins, and I hate the Redskins.
I mean, that's fair, but I've liked them before anybody even got the point where they could dislike them. So
you liked them back when Baron Davis was dunking on the Jazz and stuff like that.
I own a We Believe t-shirt.
My man.
He liked them back when Joe Barry Carroll was playing.
Oh, Joe barely cared. Joe barely cared.
Vandal, what you got for the final blow?
Another quick shout out to V's, bro. That Foursquare tournament. When you get to the A square, bro, make sure that you just keep it simple in the A square. Don't be trying to add the extra. Don't black magic and no bus stops or nothing like that. Just keep it simple. Both hands on the ball, get it into the square. Just that's it. That's all. We're good there. I'm signing up for the Hopscotch League though, and just know that. So I hope you run that all the way through. Ozzy Killmonger, don't you ever make a commercial like that again. This is not Match.com. We are not on Black Farmers Meat.com. I don't know what you was trying to do.
Meat though, bro.
I don't know
that's
what
the one
he was
you
trying
give
to
him,
do.
Black Farmers Meat.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
What?
That's a thing?
You just made it up. I bet you there'd be one up tomorrow.
Probably. If somebody gets that domain, then by all means, link us in.
You said link us in.
Link us in. We'll get ours a profile set up. He'll be ready to go.
Hey, West Coast Jay, let me ask you a question. Actually, I just thought about something, and since we have Jay on, it's a perfect time to ask this question. When are you going to defend your title? Or are you just the champion that just wins the belt and then just retires as champion with no defenses?
Defend my title, Jay. Every trivia you've hosted that I've been on the Defy Life podcast, when was the last time I lost?
Oh wow,
that is a good question. Have you ever lost when you came on?
The honest answer is I'm not going to answer that.
I think you did lose the one.
I certainly did.
Yeah, once. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think you did lose one.
So I am and one.
Yeah, and ironically, I won the one that you lost.
Right.
So
I lost to the host.
All right, so I will go back to hosting when you on, if that makes you feel better.
It's good.
But I guess that would be the question for me and you, Scott, is when is he gonna defend his title?
Because this is the Macho Man Vandal Savage, Intercontinental Trivia Champion of the world.
Well, I think we can have a summer blowout.
Yeah, we might be able to do that.
A little SummerSlam action.
All right, and that'll be perfect. We got some new hosts since last time.
All right, new blood. Let's get everybody involved. It don't matter. You can go ahead and hate Draymond.
Man.
You can go ahead and hate on Clay, the most skeptical man in the NBA.
I like Clay.
Oh, all right. Clay consistently looks skeptical to me.
But you know why I like Clay, right? Us mixed dudes got to stick together.
No, I get it.
The mixed folks got to stick together.
Right.
We catch it on both sides. We catch it from the dark skinned
brothers.
brothers,
y'all, but in all
guys.
honesty, to answer your original question, though, since we just went on a nice Ozzy Killmonger style caveat, it's up to you. I'm not the matchmaker here. You feel me? I just hold the belt.
Well, I just figured, you'd be itching at the chance to, defend your title and whatnot.
You know,
I thought you were. I figured you were a fighting champion. That's all.
No, look, I don't mind, but at the same time, I also don't make the matches.
Hey, Kingpin is the Vince McMahon of Defy Life. So
this is all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
The Kingpin is the Vince McMahon. I'm just the Shane McMahon.
You know, I'll keep it. I'll take it to the WWE. It doesn't matter which jabronis. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we set something up. I'm with you, Scott. We can do a summer blowout. Since the end, you know, everybody does mention it when Jay mentions he holds the belt. Everybody wants to know when they gonna get a chance to come for him. So we can do that soon.
So we just had that's a Defy Life exclusive right there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's a Defy Life exclusive right there.
Right. So I guess me and Scott will start working on some and Scott, they told us not to make it easy.
Hey, look, you already know how I'm gonna do. I'm going hard.
Right.
I don't want nobody to get not one of my questions. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now.
Like the 10-pointers is gonna be like crazy hard.
I don't want one person to get more than one question correct of mine. The whole 2-night experience.
Oh man. So question for you then, Jay. So what? So last round, I think your submitted category was the Friday movie series. What? Putting you on the spot. What would be your category, submitted category this time?
Right now, if I had to go right now.
Yeah, we ain't gonna hold you to it, but if you had to go right now, what would you go with?
Oh, soap operas.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
All right, no, that's a joke. That's not. Don't ever do that to me again. But right now, if it was a Friday movies last time, it would probably be. Oh man! Shout out to Al. It would be the golden age of hip hop, from '93 to '97.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Hey, look, that's Oz got a little boom bap in him, so
yeah.
So that's Oz.
Rodney McDaniel won the first 2 trivias based on hip hop, so we have to bring him back for that.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like the golden age of hip hop. I'm talking '93 to '97.
Hey Vandal, you hear how Jay said he knows where Rodney is all of a sudden, right?
Just real quick.
He know where that body is.
Right. Rodney buried with Jimmy Hoffa, man.
He know where that body is.
He know where Hoffa at. He found Matt Murdock 3-4 times.
Yeah, this dude just got people disappearing, waiting for their time to come back. They're like, "Can I come? Is it my turn now?"
Rodney in Cuba with Tupac.
Mm-hmm. Chilling. Minding his business.
Having a drink. How'd you get here? Oh, I got told I had to leave.
Right. I said something wrong on episode 2. I don't know what happened.
All I know is I got picked up.
After that, it's all a blur.
Yeah, I just got picked up, got a bag over my head, and I was here.
Was it?
What?
Them DLE vans showed up, and I was gone.
Yeah, that's what happened. There was a black bag over my head. I woke up.
DLE
vans. I was over there.
They did give me a Defy Life shirt, though. You can get these on the website.
Right.
You can get these. You can get these. These is where it's at. But final blow wise, since there's
wow, you really did. Hey, you really did pull an Oz right there. You're just getting to your final blow.
I'm channeling my inner Ozzy Killmonger.
That was a real Oz right there.
Yeah,
I do. I went through every tangent. Like, I find all of the tangential points. Tangential. Either way, my words clearly don't work no more. But it is Mother's Day when this comes out. So again, happy Mother's Day to my mother in particular, but to everybody's mother. It is also my best friend's 40th birthday, so happy birthday, Jamie Cowan. Wow. Shout out to Oz and V's. Even though there was a bunch of shots fired, I promise they was fired out of love.
They were, absolutely.
I promise they was fired out of love.
Yeah, and thank you guys for letting us try to fill your shoes for one show. So thank you.
And for all of the blurs, I apologize. We got deep into sports.
Yeah.
But then we can't. I tried to keep it around. You know, watch Doom Patrol. It is still awesome. I enjoy it. If you enjoy a comic book series that doesn't make any sense to normal people, that's the one to watch.
Umbrella Academy's up there too.
Umbrella Academy goes all over the place.
Is dope though.
Yeah, it is. So is Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is dope, but you have to just know that you've signed up for something that is insane. Just know that in advance.
And if you can accept that, you're gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah, it is insane. You know, I'm still gonna throw Cloak and Dagger.
What network is Doom Patrol on?
The DC Universe streaming.
DC.
That's it.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know, I'm still gonna throw Cloak and Dagger out there. I enjoyed that show thoroughly. I know somebody ate it up last week. Said they could. Yeah, V's couldn't. He ate it up last week, but that's all right. V's is still trying to figure out how to get that stone into the 4 square so he could the hopscotch tournament. Boy, I tell you what. And then you know, in all of the Arrowverse, the Legends of Tomorrow still don't care good. Feel free to watch them. Constantine makes me laugh. That's all I got.
Great. My final blow is, again, West Coast J, Vandal Savage, and Kingpin J from Defy Life. Guys, I appreciate you coming on short notice again. It's you made my life a lot easier by getting this done tonight, you know, when we did, and so I really appreciate that. Next week, we'll be back to our regular scheduled program. You know, we did a little sports today. We got some comics in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. In honor of Oz, peace, and chicken grease.
And chicken grease.
You know, had to throw that. V's doesn't have a catchphrase, so I don't.
So, I mean, what else you doing on a Sunday?
Happy Mother's Day as well to my mother, my grandmother, my wife, who's a mother to be. Appreciate the onesie as well. And y'all have a good time, because we're going to have a good time till we talk to y'all next time. Peace.
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 Yo, what up, my people? This is J.R. Glent from Defy Life. If you're looking for an in-depth, honest, at times hilarious conversation on anything from current events to sports to entertainment and more, check out myself, Alvin, Thomas, Gerald, and Yosh on the Defy Life podcast. Dropping every Wednesday, available at GoDefyLife.com and everywhere your favorite podcasts are available. And as always, if you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about?
Got to pay the price. We make winning look easy. Welcome to Defy Life.